Welcome, everybody, to Coach Shop Podcast. This is your boy, Pat Bayless, and I'm back in the building with another guest today. Somebody new to the podcast, somebody that is doing exceptional things in this world. It's beautiful to have her on. She owns her own business, which is something that, for one, I know myself is not easy to do. So it's just a beautiful, and I'm very happy to welcome Key, Big Key in the building, I should say. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are
I'm good. I'm
you?
good. I'm happy to have you on. It's
Yes, I'm
gonna
happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me to your show.
absolutely, absolutely. All right, so let's start it off easy. Let's start off with a soft little launch right now, and let's
Okay.
talk about childhood growing up, if you can, for the people that
Yes.
don't know you.
Okay.
Where are you from? What was like growing up like? All of those
Awesome.
things.
Okay. So I am from Long Island. I have the best of both worlds. My father is from Queens and my mother is from Long Island. So I always had like the mixture of both. My mom, she grew up in the church, so she was like really soft and sweet. My grandfather was a pastor, may he rest in peace. My dad, he was more like a street cat a little bit, and then obviously once they got married and my mom got pregnant with me, he changed his ways and stuff like that. I grew up in a really, really big family. So my grandfather had 16 siblings. My grandmother had 12. Now it's 11. My cousins, it's about 56 or 57 of us now. So we have a really, really big family. I grew up mainly around my family. I have sisters. My oldest sister is Keeks. My other sister is Dev. So yeah,
That's
on my
beautiful.
mother's side and on my dad's side, I have siblings too.
Wow, that's a lot of siblings. First of all, let's just start that off. That's a lot of siblings.
Yeah, it is. But mainly, I always had a relationship with them.
What part of Queens was you there?
My dad's from Southside Jamaica, Queens.
Okay. That's what's up. So, did your mom ever, because you're saying, you having the best of both worlds, Queens, and then your mom being in the church and your dad being from the street, did she ever get into any of those stories about your dad, or she always try to keep that like nip tucked? Because a lot of people, I feel like when they do that, they want to obviously protect their kids from what
Absolutely.
could have been going on.
No, my mom always was like very straightforward. My dad is a realist too, so he'll just tell me like how he grew up and my aunts and my uncles and stuff like that. Um, so they were just like very straightforward, like, your dad is from Queens and then he moved to Long Island, and then I met him and they gave us the whole love story and everything. So yeah, they never really sugarcoated anything. Everything was always open and honest with me. Like, this is where I'm from, this is where I came from, this is where I am now, and this is where I want you to be, kind of thing.
That's fire. No, that's
Yeah.
that's that's really dope. What was it like? So you grew up in the church.
Yeah, I grew up in a church heavy.
Okay. What was that like growing up as a kid in the church? What did you see differently from maybe your friends that you were around compared to your life?
Well, I feel like in the church, how can I say it? Like, obviously, I had more like church friends than anything. And then, of course, when you step out to like public school and you see how the kids are, kind of, it's different. Like, they're more into the worldly things. We were more like into, singing and the choir and pathfinders and sunbeams and stuff like that. So you get a mixture of both, I guess you could say. Because I also did go to a Seventh-day Adventist school as well, too.
Oh wow.
So Northeastern Academy is where I graduated from in Dykeman.
Wow, indictment too.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
So
that's
I
different.
did Longwood for like a year, and then my mom was like, "Oh, nope, I want you in a private school." So I graduated from a church school.
Yeah, I went to Longwood. Longwood was very diverse,
Yes.
very out there too. I mean,
And
I loved it. It was
very
fun, but I could definitely see if you want more structure.
a private school. If
Exactly,
I
it's
had a
just the way to
kid,
go.
my son is going to private school.
That's beautiful. I mean, and that's the thing is you got to experience, so you know what they're going into. You again got the best of both worlds, being in that high
Exactly.
school and then going to a private school.
Absolutely. And I
That's
was
amazing.
homeschooled at one point in time
Really?
too. Yeah, in Brooklyn.
Wow.
I did like a year and a half homeschool. I like the one-on-one, but I also miss like the social part of it. So kind of when I ended up going from homeschool to Longwood, I was like, oh, I get my way. But I really did like private school because at the end of the day, you really do grow bonds with real people. And because my grandfather was a pastor, he was well known, Oakwood and all the major Seventh-day Adventist schools and stuff like that. So you actually get scholarships and you actually get known based off of your grandparents being in a church.
Did you find any moment as a young adult, maybe a teenager, where it became a flesh over spirit type of thing, where you're fighting I want to say fighting urges in a way of wanting to do certain things that maybe you saw other people doing, but you're taught you shouldn't be doing those things. Was there ever those times where it's a push and pull type of thing?
I kind of feel like no,
Good.
because at the end of the day, I still had the best of both worlds with my dad being, from like the street. So I would say, like, even when I got to spend time with him on his side and stuff like that, I still had both. So whether if I was with my mom and it was one way, and then on the weekends I'd be with my dad and we would spend time in the city and stuff like that, it didn't matter because I still got my way with my dad, and then I still had my way with my mom. So I wouldn't really say I had to like fight anything, because my dad would kind of be like, okay, this is what this is, and this is what you're gonna do, and this is what you're not gonna do, and this is what the street is, and kind of thing.
God damn, they turned that on. It's okay.
I'm like,
Just the AC. You good?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry. So would you consider yourself their favorite child?
Yes,
This is
because
time to glow.
my older sister was like a rebel, so you couldn't really tell her nothing. Like, it was just more like, listen, I'm gonna do what I want to do, and I'm gonna experience life. I don't care. I'm not waiting. She was more the hot foot. Me, I'm more of the observant sister, where it's like, wait, I don't know if we should do that because I don't know if we're gonna get in trouble, or what do you think mommy and daddy are gonna say? She'd be like, girl, F that, I'm going to have some fun. Me, I'd be like more like laid back, timid, like, let me see before I just start jumping into stuff. I've always been like that, like, let me just see a little bit. But yeah,
That's what I was gonna ask, because I know obviously. First off, where would you put money on, like, like there's a list, right? To people sometimes it's like list of importance. Where would you put money on a list of importance?
top two.
I like that. Okay, so that's beautiful.
God
Top two.
first. And then
That's good.
Money next.
No, that's good. No, that's good.
Yeah, top two.
So with it being two, and you saying you have that, I need to see, I kind of got to feel it out. I don't know if I'm going to jump in. How has that played a part in anything when it comes to business related things? Because one of the hardest things I think for people is not knowing and having the faith to take the step anyways. And that's what holds them back. So has that ever happened to you because of the idea of like you wanted to make sure that it's the right thing before it's the right
Well,
thing?
the best thing about it is my mother always had a business. My family is built off of entrepreneurship. My aunt, she has her own business. My uncle, he has his trucking company. You know what I'm saying? My mom has 3 businesses. Even on, my sister and her man, they have businesses. So when you're around it all the time, you get to see, I guess.
Right.
And then it's kind of like, okay, well, I see how my brother is running his business. I see how my mom is running her business. And then one thing I can say is that when my mom started Iris Industries back in 2013, she always kept me and my sister underneath her. Like, okay, you're going to do this and you're going to do that. So even when we weren't ready to learn, she was getting us ready to learn. And my dad, he was always like, always an entrepreneur on the side. Whether if he had like a side hustle, he always taught us like to make extra money, never just stick to one thing, So
Yeah.
it was always around me regardless. So it was kind of like, I guess like a natural thing because we had to learn from young. And my grandfather, he was an entrepreneur too. So yeah.
That's beautiful. So you pretty much got laid the blueprint
Yeah.
right off the
Right off the
womb,
rip.
So that's beautiful. But within that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I grew up with, so I have me and I have my younger brother. My younger brother, which is beautiful, he started his own business. He's a choreographer.
Nice.
So I mean, he's blown up. You know what I'm saying? And the type of things he's doing is amazing. And I'm doing this podcast and stuff, right? Like I have my job and I'm doing this. So you don't make money right away. It's one of those things where
it's a patience kind of thing.
And it could play with your head.
Absolutely. But you have to have that mindset. Like me, I'm more like, all right, if I want something, I need something now. You know what I'm saying? So I could take direction, I could work a regular job, but I like to have extra money. So I'm going to always find a different way, whether if I'm like on social media, whether if I'm networking with people. My mom, she used to go to like different shows and stuff like that for Monavie and like health drinks and stuff. So I will always see like how to be an independent contractor just based off of like, walking and having your business cards and just like selling, and this is what I do and this is what I offer. And I remember when my mom took on Mary Kay, and I think, it was Mary Kay. And with that being said, we kind of learned that too. And that was like the makeup back in the day, like how to sell and be the top seller, but also how to like, pull in the people. So
Right.
we always were underneath like just entrepreneurship. But I would just say watching my mom have the patience, it kind of was just like, well, mommy, how do I do that? My daddy, how do I do that? How, like when you just see them coming in with money, like, I want money, how do I do it? So you ask the questions and they kind of just give you the knowledge.
What's the biggest struggle of being?
An entrepreneur?
Yeah.
My love life.
That's a great answer. You know what? I was not expecting that.
I know.
So we got to dig into that a little bit. Why is that?
Because
why your love life?
I feel like when you're independent and you know how to make money and you're smart and you're not like one of these bird brains that's just like, oh, okay, my ass is fat, I'm pretty, I'm going to sit here, he's going to, take me here or do that. It's kind of like, it's intimidating to a man because most men already have that in their head. Like, okay, she's pretty, she's a dime, she's either easy to fuck, easy to take out, or she's just here for a good time. Like, she's not intelligent kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like when men meet me and it's like, oh shit, she got this and she got this and she got a brain and she's this, that, and the third, it's like, miss, like, how do I approach you without being intimidated and without looking stupid? And then it's kind of like you shouldn't go into it like every woman, because we're in the new times of BBLs, you shouldn't go into it like every woman is a bird brain. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that is a big thing, like being an entrepreneur with my business, because most men are intimidated unless a man has a business to where it's like, oh, babe, you could learn from me kind of thing. I'll push you to the top kind of thing. And that's another reason why I don't really deal with men my age. They have to be a lot older than me and experienced, whether if they have businesses or assets, something I can learn from, because the new age is more of like, oh, all she want to do is get drunk. She want to get on a flight. She want to get fucked, and then she want to go home. And then it's like when you meet older men that are established with assets and businesses and houses and land and stuff like that, you really learn from them. Like, well, how did you do this? How did you do that? What were the steps to do real estate, or how did you get there? So I feel like being an entrepreneur, that's really my thing. And then on top of that, because I move on my time, when you're dealing with a man with money, 9 times out of 10, they're not really going to believe you're at work or you're doing what you're doing, because it's like they're stuck in their ways. So it's kind of like, all right, she's at work. She's preoccupied making her money. I'm still going to go for the lowest bid, which is a bitch that's just going to run to their needs. And I feel like for me, I'm not like that. I'm going to move on my time. And whether if you like it or not, you either move to my pace or you move out my way.
Sheesh. Protect her. What they say online, protect her at all costs.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Let's take a second.
Okay.
That was perfect. Wow. That was perfectly put. I really don't even have to dig any deeper. I do want to play like a little bit around with this, but so how does a man approach you? Forget about his assets. I'm just talking like come up to you off the street.
And I'll tell you, and this happened today. And
Perfect.
she can tell you too.
Oh, you saw it?
She'll tell you. Sometimes men will just come to me like, hey, you're beautiful. Like, that's the regular line. The regular thing, yeah. Like, hi, can I get your information? Mm-hmm. Or what, you know what I'm saying? Then you have some guys that will be like, dang, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they go based off of what they know. Like, I know you see me, like you see, you know what I'm saying? So different men, different calibers of men bring different kind of, I would say, attention or an approach. So businessmen are very respectful, where it's just like, hi, how are you? What are you into? What do you do? What is your occupation? Then, you have the ladies' men that are just like, they just assume automatically like she's just going to be on the wave. You see the watches and the chains and the this, that, and the third. I look good, so you better, you know what I'm saying? That's the mindset they have. And then, you have the calm, cool dudes like, hey, miss, how are you? I just want to let you know that you're gorgeous. Is it possible I could take you out? Can I take you for a drink? So it kind of just depends. Like, I could just be walking in a mall and somebody would come to me and be like, hey, you're really pretty. Like, can I get your Instagram or can I get your number? And I'm not the type, I don't give my number out. So especially if I don't know you like that. Like, I might here and there if there's an attraction, but I'm not too friendly.
Yeah.
So I'm not really a friendly female.
So would you say it's hard to approach you? Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of men be like, hold on, she not jumping to my movements. Yeah. So what is it to get her attention to approach me or to say something to me or acknowledge me? Because I will be in a room and be stone cold. Because
but how you curve them though? I gotta know.
It's not even a curve.
Come on, tell me. How you do it?
I don't really curve. It's just more of I'm
Cool.
more observant. Like, okay, so if I know that you a ladies' man and I know that there's females on you, I'm not about to be in the crowd like, hey, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be chilling because 9 times out of 10, if a female sees a man with like chains and stuff on and stuff like that, females be ready to fight over their man, and I'm gorgeous. You're not about to fight me. So like, you're not about to fight me over a dude that's for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I kind of just feel like, listen, if you talk to me, I'll talk to you. If you don't talk to me, it's okay. Like, it's not really gonna affect me in a way. Like, it is what it is. Like, we either gonna keep it P or we just not gonna, we just don't know each other.
What
like,
if you see somebody like, let's set the scene. You see somebody beeline across the room, and you already know, like, oh hell no, oh hell no. I know he not about to talk to me. Hold on. How you do it? I need to know. I need to know how you curve him. Do you do it respectfully, or you be like,
I have, like, if I see somebody across the room and they coming in
and they coming in, and you know what they about to do, and you like, oh
I'm
hell
just
no.
like, Lord, let's just get it over with. Like, what do you got to say? Kind of
Oh,
thing.
so you let them
Like,
talk. You're not.
I'm stush to a certain extent, but I'm
Okay.
not too stush. You know what I'm saying? I'm more of like, all right, let me see what this cat's talking about. Let me see where his head at. Where your head at real quick? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like to play. So for me, it's kind of like, okay, because men be cocky for no reason, and I get it.
Ego
like,
and pride,
it's just
for
that
sure.
ego and that pride, and you know you feel like you missing something, so you got to do what you got to do. But let me see what you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what you want, so let me see what you going to bring to my face. Like, are you going to speak? You going to be catty? You going to be petty? Let me see what type of man you are, because I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've been in New York, Atlanta,
Yeah.
and Miami. You lived in all three places?
I have stayed in Miami for a little bit. I have lived in New York most of my life. Atlanta, my sisters live out there, so I'm always back and forth. I stay with my sister here and there. I'll be out there for like 2-3 months and come back. The city, I love New York. You know what I'm saying? But New York is always home for me.
Absolutely.
But it's always a good place to just get away and cool my head. And when I go to my sister's house, it's just like a peace of mind. I can reset. It's home. I got a lot of family out there. My godmother lives out there. Shout out to her. I love her so much. My auntie lives out there. So I have a lot of family out there. So it's really like, you know, it's home for me in Atlanta. But Miami, my dad isn't far from there. He's in Florida. I have family in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Orlando. So
What's
yeah.
the most fun you have? Which spot?
I would have to say the most fun
Most fun, like
was like 2020 before my nephew came, and that was when we was in Atlanta.
I heard Atlanta. I've never been to Atlanta. I heard Atlanta
is lit,
fun.
but it is a little overrated. And
Is
I
it?
mean, we had the best time because that was before my older sister got pregnant with my nephew. And we was just ripping and running, you know, like we got to experience. It was me, her, my other sister Dev. So we just was sitting down, just being girls, you know what I'm saying,
course.
shopping and just being silly and laughing and just being us. So and my nieces and my cousins and stuff like that.
Now that sounds fun. I've never been to Atlanta, but I heard Atlanta is a vibe.
It's a
I heard
vibe.
I heard it's a good time. Been
It's
to
a
Miami.
vibe.
I felt like when I went to Miami, I liked it, but I felt like maybe because I went Memorial Day, so everything was hyped up. But I was like, it was a trillion people out there. But I was just like,
I love Miami.
Yeah.
I'll go to Miami. I want to live in Miami, but I know that if I live in Miami,
you ain't gonna be able to focus.
I'm not going to be able to focus on my money. And it's just like, I'm going to be out every night enjoying the palm trees on somebody's yacht.
Yeah.
So,
No, facts.
yeah, it's cool though.
Let's get into mental health.
Yeah.
Mental health, I think, is an important thing. Everybody
Absolutely.
has struggles in different areas. Everybody goes through things differently and seeks out help differently. What are some things that you would say mentally you go through on an everyday basis?
Making sure, like, a perfectionist. So I just feel like if I wake up and certain things aren't done for the business, whether if it's like, you know, I don't have the proper tools to do my client, or I know that I'm missing product, I start to panic a little bit. So I usually like to think ahead, and I'm like, okay, if I'm running low on this, I'm going to go and get this kind of thing. But other than that, I kind of, you know, I wake up in the morning, I do my prayers, like I said, you know, I have my Bible verse. I'm in a couple family group chats where we pray. My grandmother, you know,
It's beautiful.
she is definitely like a prayer warrior. So she'll be like, stop stressing, don't smoke, let's pray, we'll figure it out, it will get better. I speak to my dad every day, and a lot of men ask me, are you close with your dad? And I'm like, I'm a daddy's girl. Yes, I am. So I speak to my dad every day. I speak to my mother every day. That's my right. But I speak to my father every day. It's not a day that I miss. And when I'm stressed out, I'm like, Dad, what do I do? How do I fix it? How do I go about it? How do we fix it? And he'd be like, this is what you do.
That's
So,
beautiful. That's beautiful.
yeah.
And that's good that you have pillars,
Yeah.
right? Because people that go through mental health sometimes, whether through therapy, that's their only pillar. There's nobody else they could talk to. The fact that you have foundation, you have family that prays for you, that is important. To have people pray for you in general is so
It
important.
is, and I'm so thankful for that because that's mainly my family. Like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, you going through something, let's pray. That's the first thing I know. That's, instead of turning to like the drugs and the weed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not saying that I don't smoke, but mainly if I'm stressed out, the first thing I know to do is pick up a Bible verse, or the first thing I know to do is just like, all right, Grandma, I'm sad, and this happened at work, and I don't know if I did this, that, and the third. Like, can you pray with me? And shoot, we just pray. So you definitely gotta appreciate the grandparents here that still have that foundation, because I'm so thankful for her. Like, she just knows how to relax my soul, and I love her so much.
Absolutely. Do you consider yourself still very close with God, or do you ever feel
Absolutely.
yourself stray away?
I have straight away. I actually got baptized. Me and her got baptized together last year.
Beautiful.
So I did feel like, before I did get baptized, there was a few things I needed to work on as a female, like, my anger issues and my mouth and stuff like that.
You be shooting off at the mouth?
Huh?
You be shooting off
Oh,
at the
yeah,
mouth?
sometimes. Oh, yeah, of course.
I ain't
It
gonna lie.
depends
I
on
ain't
the
gonna lie.
situation.
We got a little clip of that earlier when you was going off. You better get, or you get left. I felt it. I was like, yeah, nah, I felt that. I felt that.
Now I'm
And you
gonna shut
getting
it
your
down.
bag.
Like,
Nah, I
yeah,
feel
I'm
you.
gonna shut it down to a certain extent. And I know my mouth is slick, but 9 times out of 10, I don't really have to get crazy unless it's brought to my door, because I'm not confrontational.
Good.
I have sisters, so it's like, but at the end of the day, like, if it's a random female trying to bring that to my door, it's like, girl, I'm not scared of you. Like, I don't care how big you are. I'm going to say what I have to say at the end of the day. So I just kind of feel like, yeah, I'm not, I'll shoot up off the mouth if I have to. But 9 times out of 10, I'm calm. Like, 110% of the time, I'm calm.
To get baptized last year, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I definitely did get baptized.
Important. That's beautiful, and it sets a precedent for everybody around you. Whether they're
Absolutely.
deep in the Bible or they're not. I know for me, like, I do like with my friend who's a pastor, we do Bible study and things of that nature. For me, it's helped me so much get closer to God, because for me, I always went to church and I would be like, I hear it, but I'm not really hearing it. I'm just here, really. I believed in God, but I was just here and not hearing it.
Absolutely.
So being able to listen to different pastors and hear the word and actually do Bible study and having to be locked in with him and learning, it's just important. And people around you see it and they start to feel it, and it makes them want to seek out because they see a growth.
Exactly.
Yeah, they see a growth. One of the things I want to get into, another thing I wanted to get into, is your business. Let's talk about your business.
Yeah.
Come on,
So
tell everybody about it.
It is called Irish Jade Beauty Bar. My mom built it in 2013, and then we officially opened it in 2017, May 17, 2017, actually. Iris is my sister, my mom, and my niece's middle name, and Jade is French. That's my middle name. So it was a combination of us, and it was all about beauty and hair, lashes, nails, facials, and stuff like that. I would say every business starts off slow and then it goes big. I actually was in school for business management when my mom was building the business. But when my uncle passed away, we kind of everybody kind of did their own thing. We still kept it moving, but it was hard because that was a hard hit
Sorry to hear
for
that.
the family because it was unexpected.
Right.
But having a business, I will say, you can't have emotion. You have to have a vision. You have to keep your prayers going. You can't really be too friendly with the staff because then staff will think that they're friends and they can get away with certain
Yeah.
things and try to cross you and stuff like that. So I will say, like, working within my establishment, it shows you how you have to be cold with people, not in a mean way, but when you have your name on a business and you're paying thousands and thousands of dollars every month for rent, you don't really have time to play kitty and catty games. It's either you getting your money or you not. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So if you have that like structure where it's just like, listen, I gotta hustle. It's about my money. It is what it is. You can't really have too many friends when you in your business because it's like, well, then you have friends that's like, well, then can I get a discount because I know you for 10 years, or can I get away with this because you my homie? So I feel like having my business for so long, it has pros and cons. You know what I'm saying? Of you lose friendships. It is what it is. And my thing is that when people sit down and ask you, when people sit down and ask you like, oh, well, is it possible that I could get a freebie or this, that, and the third? You might be nice the first time, but
Absolutely.
then obviously it's like, okay, well, do you go to Gucci and do you go to Louis and do you go to Chanel and ask them for a free bag? You know what I'm saying? If the facial was only $80, why do you need me to give you a discount? You rolling around in a Rolls Royce or you rolling around in a Benz, like what is $80 to you? So you, as a business person, you really get to see who's really rocking with you and who's not, and who's just here for the freebies, or who's here for the clout, and who's just here to really watch face, and who's just here to be in your business. You know what I'm saying? So I would say, like, having a business, I wouldn't do it with family.
Yeah.
I would do it with, you get more support with strangers than family because you got to take your emotions out of it.
Very true.
So I would just really say anybody that is starting a business, maybe a good friend, or even you go and look up somebody that has business knowledge or went to school for business management, and y'all see where y'all put y'all brains together and y'all see what y'all could do.
That's beautiful. So I want you to just plug in like the Instagram and all of that too, if you can.
Yes, so our Instagram is irish.a beauty bar ny. My Instagram is I am your key, and you can follow us there. And on TikTok, my TikTok is I am your key as well.
Beautiful. I totally agree with you when you say starting a business and seeing the people that maybe you know or maybe you think asking you for discounts or just not supporting you the way you think.
But also an entitlement too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because people will look at you like, oh, you got a business, you got money, you big money.
Yeah.
Why, when you come around, you can't pay this and pay that? One, I'm not your daddy. One, I'm not your man. Why are you looking for me? And why are you looking at me in that way? If anything, you should be inspired, and you should be asking me, how did you get here from there? You know what I'm saying? Not, oh, well, can I get $20? Can I get $30? Can I get this? Can I get that kind of thing? You know what I'm saying? If anything, it should be like, well, what were the steps for you to get here? Or how did your parents show you how to get here kind of thing? You know what I'm saying? But
Absolutely.
of course, we live in a world where people just feel entitled, like, hey, well, you got a business, you should be doing this, you should be doing that kind of thing. And it's like, I don't have to do nothing.
Yeah.
Anything I do is out of the kindness of my heart. So the moment I even feel a female's coming with that energy, you're cut off because I don't owe you anything.
Right. But I'm sure even at a point when you first started, there was a thought, like I know for me, like I do this, but then I also do clothes. So I do clothes and stuff like that. So when I first started, obviously family supports this, that, the third, but you automatically kind of assume, at least I did. I could say I did. I assumed that certain people would just be with it all the time, or they would give me their word and they would stick by their word.
Yeah.
And I had to learn that even though they your people sometimes, even though they saying they gonna do something, they're not always gonna stick by their word.
Exactly.
And I became, doing business or selling things or having, packaging things up. I'm like putting this to the side, right?
Exactly.
And I'm like, all right, got you. Until you never coming around. I could lose a sale because I put yours to the side,
Yeah,
type
shit
of thing.
to the side,
So
and then it's like you
learning
didn't
just
come.
that aspect of it, I totally understand where you coming from.
Absolutely.
I totally get it. So earlier we went to love. Do you believe, obviously you saying it's very strenuous with your job. Do you believe in love?
I do. And I'm going to be honest with you. It's crazy that you asked me that because my grandparents were married for like 60-something years, and my grandfather passed away in 2021, so may he rest in peace.
R.I.P.
I do, but also I do know the generation that we do live in, so I don't really have too much hope to it. Now, I'm not sitting down saying that I'm looking for love
Right.
because it's not like I'm looking for it. If anything, my money comes first before anything.
Right.
But if I did have a shot at trying, I would try. But the moment I kind of feel like, this isn't going, it's not, you know what I'm saying? Because the field that I'm in also is aesthetics. So I have a lot of male clients, and that, pertains to rubbing on their skin and rubbing on their face. A lot of men aren't okay with that. So it's like, oh, well, if you're going to be my woman, you're not doing this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
control.
control thing, and it's just like, well, if that's the case, put me in a house, pay my bills, make
Facts.
sure I'm a stay-at-home mother. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you put me in a position where I don't have to do that. And that's where my biggest
Conversation
thing,
stops.
the conversation stops, where it's like, she requires too much. And it's just like, you want me to stop doing what I went to school for and got New York State license for at 18, and I'm 29.
Yeah.
And you have all these demands, but why would I stop doing what I'm doing to please you? You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? Would you stop hustling and doing what you need to do, especially if you got a family at home? You know
Yep.
what I'm saying?
No, I got a son, so I totally understand.
Exactly. So for me, that's where it's a thing, because it's like, oh shit, well, she's working with men all day, and you know what I'm saying? She's doing facials, and I don't know what the conversation is going on, and this, and a third, and the jealousy, and it's just like, listen, I'm self-made. This is who I am. I built my clientele from the ground up. If you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not about to sit down and stop moving my money for you unless you about to put $100K in my hand tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm not about to stop doing what I'm doing.
So what does love look like to you? Because love looks like something, I wouldn't say different for everybody, but people do see love differently.
I would say 2-family home. So I feel like you build a family, you strive to keep it together. You understand what I'm saying? My parents were married for 13 years. So that's what I saw. And even if they did have issues and stuff like that, they never really involved me and my sisters in it.
Right.
It was more behind closed doors. Now, maybe my older sister seen it, but me, I was more like out of the way. So I just feel like for me, if I ever start a family, which I'm not ready anytime soon, I didn't make a baby by myself. But this is where it's important to pick the right man. Absolutely. And also dig deep into their family values and dig deep into where do you come from before, instead of just like, oh, he looks good, I'm about to have a baby with him. Because now you look good, you got the baby, but the nigga's still outside doing what he doing. You know what I'm saying? Or the female's still outside doing what she doing.
And eventually
so
that
who
love,
really won?
that look
Nobody,
go away.
right?
Yeah.
So now the kids really are innocent, and the kids miss out. And it's just like, so what was the point of making them? Like, if y'all not going to stay together, you know what I'm saying? So I just look at it because of what I grew up in. My parents were married, and I just feel like, kids are innocent. Like, if you're going to create, try to make it work. Don't go based off of what we see in the new world, or don't try to keep up with the new world. You know what I'm saying? It's just more of like, you have to literally like, okay, I made a baby with this man. I made a baby with this woman. Do we try to make it work? Were we ready? You know what I'm saying? And that's why I feel like the questions are always more important than the answer. Are you ready to sit down and have another kid? Are you ready to sit down and take on this? Are you ready to stand as a man and watch your kids? Are you ready to stand as a mother? And you understand what I'm saying? So it's deeper than just the man looking good or the woman looking good. It's always the foundation. And then you want to break those generational curses, whether if you come from a broken home or, you understand what I'm saying? Just different things. So you want to be better than your parents. You want to try something new. You want to try to keep the family together because that's what we knew. You know what I'm saying? My grandparents had the foundation for us. So it was just kind of like, this is what we hope for. But now in a new generation, everybody wants a baby mother or a baby father with some money.
Yeah.
And they rather go that route. And listen, I'm not saying marriage is for everybody because people look at it as a business. People look at it as a commitment. People look at it as a partnership. People go based off the industry, what they see on TV. So I would just have to say it's really about getting to the root of it and also getting to really know a person inside and out before you just drop a baby.
I totally agree. So to counter that, not even to counter that, I'm 100% on what you said. Me growing up, I had a 2-parent household. That's always what I dreamed of having. Does life always go the way you dream of it?
No.
My son and my son's mother and me are not together.
Okay.
It was a decision I had to make, but it was a decision that I knew would benefit him, and that's why I felt like I had to make it. I never really go too deep into my situation because
Yes, it's
but
personal.
but I had to make that decision, and I totally understand what you're saying because even to this day, it's the biggest thing that haunts me to this day is that my son isn't able to grow up in a 2-parent household the way
And
I
you want to
wanted
give
him
him
to.
that.
Exactly.
But not everybody has that mindset.
Yeah.
And if it's toxic and it's not good for your mental health, sometimes you got to get up and go.
And that's what
because
I'm
a
saying.
female can drive you insane just as much as a man can drive you insane. And it's either, do I be behind bars or do I walk away and start fresh? And
true.
then listen, maybe years on or later on when we're mature, we can come together. If not, we'll have to explain this to our son.
Yep. That's true.
You have to have transparency, I say.
That's a great way to look at it. I'm not gonna lie, you have like an old soul to you, which is beautiful. But you're very wise.
Oh, thank you.
I've had plenty of conversations on my podcast, but a lot of the things that you're saying is very true and hitting right on the point. You are 29.
I am.
About to be 30.
Next year.
Okay, cool.
I just turned 29.
30 sucks. No, 30's cool. What do you see for that next chapter of your life? The 30s. Let's just call it the 30s.
Yeah.
What do you see for the 30s?
In my 30s, I still see myself, striving and just like pushing to be the best, whether if it's like an investment property or another business. But I don't see myself falling off. I don't see myself joining a crowd. I'm not, I used to party back in the day. I feel like I grew myself out of it, whether if it was friendships, situationships, boyfriends. For me, it's like sometimes you have to withdraw from the crowd to get better.
Right.
So I feel like, once I hit 30 next year, there's a few goals that I do want to establish, and I don't want to speak on it yet until I get there.
No, I feel that.
Yeah,
I feel that.
I will say, just keep pushing and keep God first and keep focused. And like I said, my inner circle, the main girls that I speak to every single day, they keep me motivated. They all have businesses. They all have something going for themselves, whether it's degrees, businesses, knowledge, wisdom, a hustle on the side. I make sure I keep myself around motivational women because it's never a competition. I'm never in competition with a female. Now, if it's a one-sided competition, that means that she got some issues over there because I'm also not a gatekeeper either. So if you have questions about business, I don't mind dropping jewels. But at the end of the day, if you don't want to change and all you want to do is just copy me and act like me and not really take the steps, then I don't want you around me. I don't want that fake shit around me. It's like, what have you did in the last 3 months? So show me since you doing all of this. You know what I'm saying? Show me what you bring to the table as a woman. Just like I would want a man to show me what he brings to the table as a man.
Absolutely.
So.
Well, let me just say before we get out of here, you're inspiring.
Oh,
I'm older than you, but only a couple years, y'all.
Okay.
Only a couple years. But I'm older than you, and you're very inspiring. I always am a firm believer you could get inspiration from anybody.
Absolutely.
Doesn't matter the age or where they're from. Like, you can grab inspiration from anybody. But you're very inspiring.
Thank you.
I think it's important that people listen, especially people that want to start their own business. But you said a lot of really key things just in everyday life. People that may be struggling to find God, want to find God. Your life seems like a movie, which is great. It is
because
dope.
1 minute is smooth, and then the next minute I'll be like, "What the hell? What did I just wake up to?" And that's why I said it's so hard for me to really date or take somebody serious because I could be like, "Hey, like, babe, I'm back," and then it's like my life could be like, "Hold the hell on, did this just happen today?"
Yeah.
So then it's kind of like, okay, well, she playing me or she, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm not. I really do have real life shit going on. It is what it is. Go do your thing. So I'm not even a jealous type either. Like, I really don't care.
Yeah. Because you're so focused on a lot of things.
Yeah, you're so focused. It's kind of like, listen, you gonna go out there and do your shit anyway. So you might as well just go and do it. Because I can't give you a time. I can't give you a day because I don't even fucking know. Like, I could do a wedding tomorrow and I'll be like, I'm on my way to you, or I might have to take a flight to Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? Or a flight to Miami or BeautyCon in the city. So it could be so many different things where I have to split my brain and it's just like, all right, she got too much going on. She's a handful. I don't even want to fuck with her.
Yeah.
So it's like, whatever. I'd rather be a handful than a piece of shit.
Right. And like you say, you're not a gatekeeper.
Yeah, I'm not.
Big thing. So one more time, please, for everybody that watches this, plug in where they can reach you, because there might be people that really want to reach out to you.
Yeah, you guys can follow me on Instagram at I Am Your Key. And you can follow our business page at Irish Jade Beauty Bar NY. Irish Jade Beauty Bar NY. And we're located on 233rd Post Avenue, Westbury, New York. Open from Tuesday to Friday, 11 to 6. And we also do by appointments only as well, too. So if you do want to book an appointment, you can click on the website and book an appointment, and we will cater to you.
One more question before we get out of here. This is a very corny question.
Okay.
But what's the key to your heart? Since your name is Key. One thing.
I don't know. Money.
And with that being said, fellas, step it up. With that being said, I appreciate you for being here. Thank you so much.
Definitely. Thank you for having me. It was my pleasure.
Absolutely. With that being said,